you come here having been both an ODAC head coach at Ferrum and then an assistant at the local Division I school JMU. How did your career sort of bring you here and back to being a D3 head coach?
Yeah, so actually, I started at the high school level when I was an undergrad at JMU, and then that led. I was actually assistant coach here for a year before I went to Ferrum, and so that's kind of how I got into the college realm. I worked here with Connor Smith when he was here. And then, the Ferrum job opened up, and it was just a great opportunity for me. So I took that and got some great experience running two programs. I did both the men and women there as well. And then, kind of during my time there, enjoyed the school, enjoyed the job. But kind of knew I wanted to get back to the Valley because I'm from Woodstock, which is just 45 minutes from here. And so, the JMU job opened up, and it was a good opportunity to go and work with a different level. Really enjoyed my time there, but then, kind of the spring that I was there, this head job opened up here, and then I really enjoyed my time when I was here, and I think, just the opportunity to, stay close and not have to, pick the family up and move, and to go here and, have a chance to run my own program with both men and women was, just too good to pass up. So I was excited to come back and keep things rolling here.
And then another connection, you coached at JMU, and now your number one singles player on the men's side, Cannon Secord, is the son of the JMU coach.
Sure, yeah. So that was, a lot of recruiting is about who you know. So that was, a good pickup for us, and I think, they're local, which helped, I think, for sure, and, certainly a good player and had some chances to go, to bigger schools, but I think, just having the personal connection with him, and then, being able to stay local and kind of carry on, the tennis close by where he has a lot of, support was a good fit for him, and so, he had a great freshman year, and looking forward to kind of building around him for the future, for sure.
I guess speaking of recruiting, what are some of the things you look for when you're recruiting a student athlete here at Bridgewater?
Yeah, I think tennis is a unique sport to recruit for, and I think every school is different. And so, just looking for kids, number one, they're good students, obviously. We want them to come here and be successful, so that's kind of the first thing you look for. And then, tennis is unique. The ODAC has really gotten better over the past, 3 or 4 years. It's gotten more competitive, and so, it used to kind of be, if you had 2 or 3 good players, you were, competing kind of at the top, and it's kind of transitioned to, you have to have depth in order to compete, so you have to win at those bottom spots. So I think that's something we've really focused on. We've been lucky to have some pretty good number one guys and girls, and then, just trying to recruit depth and to where we're not a huge drop off, kind of like 2 through 6 spots has been kind of what has worked for us, and so. It's always tough to get those number one players, but I think once you get them, you can build around them. That's kind of been our recipe to stay successful in the conference. So.
Can you tell us a little about your time as a student athlete, and then how you got into coaching tennis as a career?
Yeah, so actually, I went to Central High School, which was just in Woodstock, and I got recruited from there, and I played at a school in Tennessee, King College, which was NAIA when I went there, and they're a Division II school now. So I got a scholarship to go play. It was kind of just one of those things that was visiting schools both to play tennis at and not to play, and then when I saw I had the chance to go there, and I kind of just took the leap, and they were very successful programs, so I got some experience there. And then I ended up changing my major, which is why I came back here to JMU. Kind of thought I was done, with competitive tennis, and then my senior year at JMU, high school job opened up, like I said, and once I got into coaching, I just really, I've always loved the sport. Obviously, I think that goes without saying. As a coach, you have to love the sport that you're coaching. So just really kind of enjoyed my time at the high school, and then kind of thought, well. If you can love your job, then that's, I think not a lot of people can do that. And so, the college assistant job opened up, and, gave that a try, and just really fell in love with kind of what it was all about, and just working, with, I think the Division III is a special place. Obviously, you get into, work with the athletic side of things majorly, but then you're also, kind of dealing with their academics and, just life during college in general, which, when I was at JMU, I didn't experience that as much. It was just kind of tennis all the time, and so that's kind of really what I loved about Division III, and so, yeah, that's how I do it here.
With this sport, how do you balance both, and now you have a regionally ranked, player in the ITA rankings, both, try to get some of those individual players, at the regional and national level versus winning the team competition in those dual matches? How do you sort of balance that when you're building your team?
Yeah, well, I think tennis, very similar to golf. It's a very individual sport by nature, and so it is. It's tricky to, and I think track and field probably deals with the same thing. A lot of times the athletes, especially the high level ones, come in just very, maybe they've played on a team, but it was kind of they were standout on their team. It wasn't really a team environment. So I think that's the the first part is letting those guys know that, hey, like, you're here to play on the team, like, it's about the team. And then I think, if you develop that culture, then, the individual things kind of come along with that. And typically the kids that are, competing regionally and nationally, I mean, they're self-motivated by nature. And so, they put a lot of work in, certainly on their own. So I think, for me, I mean, we do a lot of individual sessions, kind of when we're in season, and it's, partially, they want to do it, and partially, some of the kids, you have to make come out there. But I think, we try to tackle it from both angles, both individually and as a team. That's kind of how we split our practices up. We do some days during the week where we're kind of focusing individually and trying to improve. And then, team practices obviously take a majority of the time during the week. So, I think you certainly have to focus on both levels when you're dealing, with an athlete that's not necessarily been in a team sport their whole life. And I think, once they get the taste of it, they really love, being a part of the team. And it kind of, certainly at the college level, it's different than even, high school tennis. And so usually, a match or two into the season, you guys have really bought in, and it's not that hard of a transition. So.
You've taken both the men's and women's teams multiple times to the ODAC semifinals, but looking at this year, we mentioned Cannon. Who are some of the other key returners, both on the men's and women's side, and what are some of your goals for the team for the spring?
Yeah, so on the men's side, we're we're a fairly young team. I think both grade-wise and then also just experience. Cannon, will continue to play one, I think, and then Matthew Jordon has played two all last year as a sophomore as well, and has really improved quite a bit. And then one senior in our top six. This will be really his second full year of playing, full time for us. And then we've got Nick, who's a junior, probably playing in the 4 or 5 range. Again, kind of his second year of playing. So we're and then a freshman towards the bottom of the ladder. So we're certainly young, both with experience and where they're at in their academics. And so I think for us, obviously, we're very competitive up top. I think getting those younger guys and lower in the ladder, it's kind of it's going to depend on how they adjust to getting a lot of playing time, playing match in and match out. And I think talent-wise, we're kind of right there in the middle of the pack. So certainly looking to improve, and hopefully we've had a good couple of weeks of practice, and I think once we get some matches under our belt and they start to get to experience, I think we can kind of make some noise. Hopefully finish a few spots higher than maybe what people are thinking we're going to. And then on the women's side, we got some 2 seniors playing 1 and 2, Whitney Kaiser and Nicole Shiflett, and they've been 4-year starters for us. And then Rachel Crawford, who's a junior, has played since she started. And then it's kind of open from there. We have 4 freshmen. I think all 4 can kind of hop in right away and play. So I think the bottom of our ladder, we're still kind of working through that, trying to figure that out. But certainly we're deeper than we've been on the women's side since I've been here, and that's something that I've really been focusing on. The team was very small, to say the least, when I started, and so it's been kind of a growing process. I was lucky to get some solid players that could play up high, and then since Whitney has come in and Nicole, we've kind of been staples at 1 and 2, and then just kind of trying to build around them in the last 4 years. And I think hopefully this year we'll see some results from that and win a lot. We just haven't been winning very much at the bottom of the ladder, so I think this year we have a really good shot to do that with some of the freshmen that we have. So yeah, I'm excited to get started and kind of see where we're at on both sides, and certainly it can be frustrating at times, but it's always fun to see new players and young players kind of step in and see what they're made of. So it should be an exciting season for sure.
All right, well, thank you, and good luck to both teams this spring.
Right.
Jordan and Robinson, everybody.
Thanks.